Is this on? Can you hear me? Hey, it's January 29th, 2021, Friday the third week in Ordinary Time. And yes, this is Deacons Discussions and Drinks, Season 2, first episode. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back, Dallas. Are you here?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm monitoring over here.
You're monitoring. Welcome back to the Cardome studio. It's been 2 months, long break, but we're back for another season 2 in 2021, where we hope everything that happened in 2020 never happens again. I'm Deacon Tim Stout.
I'm Deacon Dallas Kelly.
And Father Lynn's not here. Lots of reasons for the break: COVID, the holidays. Let's see, no heat in some of these buildings over here at Cardome. I think last time we were here was with Mike Allen. We do have some guests with us tonight. We'll get to them in just a second. But hey, we're back.
We are.
So what do you think about that?
Well.
Did you miss it? I mean, be honest. You got to be honest.
I did not.
You didn't miss it. See, that's what happens when you go every week. But we're not doing that anymore.
That was a nice break. Refreshing.
We are. Looks like we're pausing it in and out on Facebook. So hopefully that'll straighten itself out. That's nothing you're doing. Yeah, we're going to do it every other week, I think is what we're going to do. But just every week is too much. So twice a month. So on some of these longer weeks, we'll probably go, maybe skip 2 weeks at a time or something like that. But we'll put a schedule out. We'll talk about this a little bit at the end about some guests and stuff that we want, need your feedback on. But I'm excited. We're excited to be back. You're excited to be back doing this.
I'm excited.
I can tell you're excited. So if you're excited, I'm excited. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, because I'm the Grand Knight, the Knights of Columbus Fish Fries. So in the studio today, we have two Knights of Columbuses with us, Brother Knight Jeff Crump and Brother Knight James Drummond. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, kind of a put you on spur of the moment type thing, but there's been a lot of work going on with the fish fries, and I know last year it didn't happen. Was it one?
Good.
2
weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
So let's just start with some basic stuff, and that is who are you people, and what are the Knights of Columbus if people don't know what they are? Who wants to take that question?
I can do that. So I'm James Drummond, and I'm the Deputy Grand Knight under Tim here.
What's that mean?
I do whatever Tim tells me.
Right. You're second in charge. Right?
Right. So, anyways, a little bit of background for those who don't know it. The Knights of Columbus is a fraternal organization in the Catholic Church, but we're based mainly on unity, charity, and fraternity. And we're founded mainly to care for the families of the other knights. So that's the way it was started. And basically we care for each other and take care of families and take care of the parish is what the knights are arranged for. that's where it came from, and that's what we still do. So,
And we do I think we do a pretty good job of that. When you say so,
I'd
Joe.
say we do. Well, you know,
How long have you been a member, James?
I think it's going on about 16 or 17 years.
And you?
6 years.
6 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
you.
been a fast-paced 6 years.
Yeah, you got to be Grand Knight in 6 years, so
Yeah.
you get a prize.
So
You get some
Right.
type of
Right.
prize for that.
Deputy Grand Knight for 2 years, and then Grand Knight for 2 years.
Yeah,
That was
so-
6.
You're a knight. You're a knight. I'm a knight.
Somebody we need to work on. here,
Crickets
isn't it?
over here.
Are you a knight?
I am not a knight.
What about Steve? You're not a knight either. Look, we got two
Got some
prospects.
recruiting.
There you
We
go.
got
Yeah.
2 prospects. We're gonna not put any pressure on you till July 1st, though. It's just so you know, we want to get through COVID.
Right.
Wink, wink, wink.
Is that when
Nothing else.
COVID is over, July 1st?
July 1st, COVID will officially be over, and everything will be back to normal.
Let's hope.
Let's hope so. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So, fish fries, biggest fundraiser for our local council. Yes.
By far. By
Absolutely.
far. That is our number one.
And how bad did it hurt not
Yeah.
having those last year?
Oh, it hurt terrible. I mean, we tried to make the best out of a bad situation there. You know, our last fish fry, we had the fish thawed, so we ended up serving to first responders in the community. So, but we lost out quite a bit of revenue. So it's hard to do good things without that revenue coming in.
So we're gonna try it this year.
Gonna
Oh
try
yeah, we're back.
back
We're back.
completely different.
We're back. But we got a lot of things that are different
Lot
this
of
year. Trying to
changes.
we with the time off, we tried to come up with some improvements, and
So what's the biggest change?
Location.
so we're going to be at Cardome this year. So be serving the meals out of Cardome.
Cardome. Everybody know where that is? That's where we have the nice, warm, and comfortable Sunday services. So, for those of people that have been coming to church at Cardome, they know on the front side, where are we going to be serving fish, and how's that going to look like?
The upper parking lot. We're actually going to have a loop. If everybody comes to Mass, they've seen Larry Oster sit there as you come in. We'll have a couple guys there to greet you, and they'll guide you from there.
But it'll be all takeout this year. I mean,
Yes.
obviously with COVID, hopefully in years in the future we will turn it back into having a dining room and being able to eat the fish here and
Hopefully.
join the community.
Hopefully
kind of
next year.
Yeah.
So we'll be like every other fast food restaurant in Georgetown right now.
What if
the
they
way it
want to
works.
grab a chair and sit in the lawn? Are they going to be able to do that?
You
Like-
know, I'm not going to run anybody off the lawn.
Well, I didn't know if the setup was going to be any parking spots left, or
No, we're not really going to accommodate anything, but if somebody wanted to eat there in the parking lot, I can't think that we're going to run them off. So,
if somebody wanted to sit over in the new grotto,
sure.
They can
and
do what they want.
share a fish sandwich with Mary, that's fine.
Really cuts down on the fellowship, which is great about the fish fry, but, you know, we're doing the best we can with the circumstances we have.
So the fish fry at Cardome, drive-through, carry-out only, drive-through only.
Drive-through only. You should be able to roll in your car and never get out. Pick up your fish and head right back on out.
So will there be some learning curve to this, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're
Definitely.
learning as it goes. So we're trying to figure out how everything's going to fit out here. We're going to find out how new processes work. We got a web app designed to take the orders and bring things in. And
So
go through.
21st century stuff here.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody's going to be referred to a website to do their ordering.
How about that? Is
All
it?
right.
Is it? Are you hooked up with DoorDash, or is it?
No. But we're hoping it'll go a lot smoother or more smoothly than it has in the past. So
Yeah, I
But-
think it's going to be nice.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that's been in the past. That's been one of the biggest complaints about the fish fry was, you know, you had this
Waiting for good
line.
fish.
Yeah, you had this line that went around the undercroft, up the steps, and if the weather was nice, it went up the steps and out. You know, limited seating inside the undercroft. You know, maybe 40 people
Yeah,
comfortably,
yeah.
maybe, if that. So carry out only. You know, we got a nice, huge place out here. We can queue up a lot of cars, obviously. Serve a lot of people. How is the ordering going to work? Is that ordering, you know, the day of and then just showing up, or how's that
Actually,
going?
you could pre-order it. We're going to have it set up to where you can pre-order during the week and go ahead and set your rough time you want to pick it up and show up, and it'll be ready. You can
How about that?
But
We'll see how
will
this
they still
works.
have to wait in the line? You know, in
in your car, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna serve right up here in the loop, and then turn you right back out.
So you're going to come in. You're going to get you'll be in line. You're going to, if you've ordered.
You'll have an order number when you order online. You'll be given an order number, and that should walk you right through the line. The guys will greet you there as you come in. They'll give you that number, and then the guys up here will be looking for that number to give you your order.
Do you pay online?
Yes. Or you can
pay
here.
Wow.
When you get here, but it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, but we're
See the Knights got it going on, man. I'm just saying.
there you go.
We could use a few good men though.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to join an organization in the church that's progressive, because let's face it, it takes the church a long time to do anything.
Steve, are you listening?
So online ordering, online paying, what could go wrong with that?
Well, the system could crash, and we talked about that tonight.
But if that happens, they could still come in. You can still show up here and order here, correct?
Yeah.
right.
And the nice thing, up until it did crash, we'll still have a record, so we could fill the orders that we have still, and then we could revert back and do it the old-fashioned way.
But,
We're gonna have a limited menu this year. That's gonna make it a little simpler. I'm sure some people will be upset, but gone are the salmon, gone are the baked potatoes. It's just gonna be a large and small fish dinner and large and small shrimp dinner.
At least for this learning curve for this year.
For this year, yeah.
See what happens next year.
So we're not going to have those healthy options,
Correct.
but you are going to be able to support the Knights and the work that they do and enjoy the same fish that we've served for the last
23 years, 22 years.
a long time. if Tom Johnson was here, he'd give us the exact date. But so large and small fish dinners, large and small shrimp dinners. No drinks, right?
We will have drinks.
You will have drinks.
No desserts, but we'll have drinks.
And those dinners have fries, so
Non-alcoholic drinks.
Maybe next year.
We're working on it.
right. Yeah.
Maybe next year.
We had a problem handing those out in the cars. So, so
Yeah, that doesn't go well together, does it?
not really.
So, have you ever thought about cooking fish, Dallas? Because we do need
I
people to help.
fish and I cook it, but just not for the night.
So we got a new location. We got a different menu. We've got a new ordering system, and all we need is people.
That's right.
Yep.
So
We need customers and we need helpers.
when's the first fish fry?
First run is going to be February 19th. I think we're going to open that up to the parish, and then the week after that, we're going to open it up to the community at large.
Is that the first Friday in Lent? It is the first Friday. So we're just going.
I hope I'm right.
I'm looking.
Make sure we're right.
When's Ash Wednesday, Dallas? Because we're going to talk about Ash Wednesday later on in the show. So he's got his calendar out. We'll double check it.
Okay.
February
Yeah.
9th. That sounds right to me.
I would trust but verify there.
February 17th is Ash Wednesday.
So February 19th would be.
First Friday of Lent.
So give up your healthy eating, give up your baked
Correct.
salmon,
Yep.
and partake in fried fish and fried shrimp.
Not that I'm biased, but it really is quality fried fish, I think.
It's good.
And it's good value. What about the pricing? Pricing staying the same as it was last year? or
Little
changed?
changes. $7 still on the adult large meals. The small meal is going to $5. So a little bit of increase there.
Still one of the best values. I think
Yes.
I heard a message earlier today that Frankfurt Knights of Columbus are not having their fish fries.
That's correct.
So if you know
what I heard.
somebody in Frankfurt that's used to going to a fish fry and they get their fix, come here.
Right.
The other thing we got going for us too is Long John Silver's is out of business.
Correct. We are the fried
is
fish
true.
game in town.
Yeah.
That was my go-to if I didn't go to the fish fry. Long John.
Gone but not forgotten. So now we get all the business from Long John Silver's, all those Catholics out there.
There
And a
you go.
lot of non-Catholics do eat fish too.
Yes.
So open to the parish. You're only advertising to the
We're
parish. I should
advertising
say.
to the parish. Yeah, we're not going to turn anybody away, but we're going to kind of, our advertising campaign will be a little more targeted that first week.
First week, yeah.
And if it goes well, then we want to.
We want
We got
everybody
some
to
lost
see.
ground to make up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll be ready to put out signs on Saturday morning.
but we're working towards that learning curve the first
Yeah.
week. So
What else do we need to know?
I can't think of anything else, James.
I just think come out and grab some good food. All right.
And if you're interested in the Knights of Columbus, of course, any of us can help you out there and give you some information.
Absolutely.
Get
A
you
lot of
signed
good work, a lot of good charity.
Let's talk about that just for a second because we're going moving kind of fast here. But let's just talk about what's changed in the Knights of Columbus with joining the Knights of Columbus. Do you want to answer that?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Who wants to answer that?
I don't care.
Changed quite a bit, especially with COVID. Now everything's done online, but the whole ceremony has actually changed. It used to be when you joined the Knights of Columbus, it was kind of a secretive thing. I'll say, you weren't supposed to really talk about what happened during your initiation.
All you ladies listening to this.
Yes. So now they have opened it up and made it more of a family event, and I think they kind of push you to have it after Mass and have the families there and everybody watch. So it's really opened it up to more of a family atmosphere.
We haven't done that yet because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah, basically it opened up to this idea or this way of doing it right when everything was shut down. So we've not been able to do one of those opportunities yet, but there's also the opportunity to join online, become an online member.
But your son did that, I think.
Yes, he did. So
it's pretty seamless. So if you're a very private person, Dallas, and don't like to, don't want to be a member of a secret society, which we weren't a secret society.
Right.
Just our ceremonials were secret.
Correct.
You can do it online, and then you can join the. If you don't like us here, you could always join the Christ the King Council.
There you go.
You could do it sitting right there if you got bored. You could do it while you're sitting right there.
Okay.
And actually, the online ceremony is really pretty nice. It gets across a lot of the points that the other one did, and it's nice to go see.
Well, and I'm excited about, I said July 1st. July 1st is kind of for those listening, it's the physical year for the Knights of Columbus. It's the start of the year. And because of COVID and because of some other housekeeping stuff that we've done, we don't have a huge push to get a lot of new folks because we're not meeting with people, right? We're not interacting like we normally would. We're just not seeing them at Mass. We're not seeing them at other social events that are either in the parish or in the community. It's really kind of hampered our recruiting efforts, and so I think we need to focus towards July 1. And I really would like to see us, get 5 or 6 good guys, which 2 of them are right here.
There you go.
But if we could get 5 or 6 guys and do our first degree, actually do all 3 of them now, right?
Yep.
First, second, third.
Yep.
You could do it after Mass, right in front of Cardone.
Right.
On a nice sunny afternoon.
Yeah, and it'd be really, really nice once you bring them in to be able to do stuff with them. If we just trying to bring anybody in this year has been you bring them in and then you don't see them.
Yeah.
Right. So
Nobody wants to be a part of an organization that you join and then you never do anything with them.
But again, there's no pressure either. If you don't have time, I mean, you're not pushed to do anything. You can do what you can do, and
You keep looking over here.
People can see me looking at you. They can't see me looking at Steve. It just looks like I'm looking at the camera. Hey, Steve.
Dallas, you could stop all this, right?
Yeah, I know that.
I think I have a Form 100 in my bag. But you can fill that out online. You go to the Knights of Columbus. Yep. I think it's just join. Click on the join button. And, you get to be a part of your community just in a different way, really.
Right.
I mean, you probably know most of the Knights. You know the active ones, I'm sure. I don't think I know them all. There's 160 roughly.
160-ish.
Yeah. And I think you know more of them than I do because of the school side of it. Some of the school family
Probably,
people
yeah.
I don't know. You know a lot of the new guys because they came in under your watch or when I was taking a little bit of a break. For my last time around as Grand Knight. But, it's a good way if you're new to the parish or if you're unsure about how to get involved or engaged in something. The worship committee's not your thing. Formation's not your thing. You can become a member of the Knights of Columbus. And if you like to stand around and cook fish and drink beer, you're in.
Yeah,
right?
That's the place to be.
Right?
Yeah.
We have all kinds of other events that we do. We are obviously helping support the Not Alone Pregnancy Center drive that's been happening that Scott Carter's been in charge of the last few months. We've done a habitat build before in the past.
Tootsie Roll Drive we do
Yep.
yearly. I mean, there's a lot of good things we do.
Support Quest Farm in that one.
So that there's a lot of things that we do that in and by themselves is not special, but it supports people, it supports organizations, and it really builds a fraternity that isn't possible just in your normal parish, because it's the structure, it's the organization. And a lot of people just think that, hey, is that like because in Louisville, I don't know, in your home parish, did you have Knights of Columbus in your home parish?
I can't remember that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't.
I don't ever remember anybody talking about them or anything.
I remember having a men's club. Did you have a men's club? Because my dad would go and they play poker at the men's club. And I mean, that's all I thought the men's club did was talk about stuff and drink beer and play poker. So I never knew anything about the Knights of Columbus till I moved up here. And a guy, David Rivera, asked me to join the Knights of Columbus, and he was fixing my air conditioner. I said, "What's that?" So that was 20 years ago, and so I've been a Knight for the last 20 years, and I don't regret it at all. Got a lot of what I consider to be lifelong friends, present company included, and we help each other. So it's a good organization. If you're thinking about it, come be a part of it.
Good way to get some insurance products too.
Yeah, well, we do. So it is one of the most healthiest insurance companies in the country.
Correct.
One of the highest rated.
Yeah, it's a 5+ for 5A plus.
What are you talking about? Say a few things. Something about
life
that.
insurance packages. When you become a member of the Knights of Columbus, you get access to the Knights of Columbus life insurance and insurance policies, which Knights of Columbus is a huge insurance organization and very competitive pricing. Good product.
So they got whole life and they've got term life both. They've got annuities. They've got all kinds of financial products, financial advisors that help you. So when I joined, I got an insurance policy on each one of my kids, a whole life policy. So maybe sometime in the future, when I'm long gone, they'll be able to cash that policy in, and it'll be worth. It's a $10,000 face policy, but it'd probably be worth, 5 or 6 times that when they get to be retirement age or something like that. So that's whole life, and it's not a requirement, but
right.
It's.
But I really find it interesting the fact that grows out of the founding of the organization, and that it was founded to take care of the widows after the Knight had passed away, and it grew into the insurance. So I think that's a really interesting part of the whole story.
Yeah, it's service, right? It's service at its core. A lot of times we don't like. That's a great point, James. We don't like to think of it insurance as a service, but it is. It provides a service that's needed when somebody
security
dies or passes away. If you're a veteran, you get extra benefits on that side of it. If you're active or retired, either one. So it's a great organization. It really is.
It is.
Yeah, in many ways.
So
not demanding. It's there when you want it, when you need it.
Yeah, if you want to give 10 minutes a year, we'll take it. If you want to give 10 hours a week, we'll take it. So there's always something to be done. There's always a need. And we need people, because one of the things that I think that we have trouble with sometimes is new ideas are generated. Hey, let's go do this. And finding somebody to lead that effort, that's where we need the fresh blood, fresh people to come in to lead those things. So.
I guess say typically we have a good time with everything we do.
We do. I don't really remember us having bad events. We've done some crazy stuff. We've served food at the rodeo. I don't know if you remember that. That was some good.
Rodeo many times.
That was some good times.
Double stink hog farm.
We did some stuff at the Legends. We did concessions at the Legends.
Yes.
And a lot of times people think, man, that's gotta suck. It's not. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's being with your brothers who you can relate to, and we don't have this like so much in this country where we have this political stuff that separates people. When you talk about being in the Knights of Columbus, what brings you together is your faith.
Right.
And we have liberals and we have conservatives inside the Knights of Columbus, but that never comes into play. We have a basis in our faith. It's what unites us. Morals, ethics, all those things are common, and it's what binds us together as brothers. So, You got any questions about this organization, Dallas? Do the listeners have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions right at the moment.
How about you, Steve? You have any questions about the Knights of Columbus?
Do you need the online information, Steve?
Just Google Knights of Columbus, enter, and you'll be amazed at what you find. So you'll be taken care of. So
KFC.org.
there you go, kfc.org. And if you become a 4th degree, you get a sword.
That you have to order and pay for.
You have to pay for it. But
I'm in.
you can get a sword. Used to be you got these feather hats. They've done away with the feather hats now. Now that's berets.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's a cool organization. Old school stuff there. So, well, guys, we appreciate you coming on, talking to us about
Thanks
it.
for having us.
The fish fries Friday nights,
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Every Friday in Lent.
So we'll be at least broadcasting a couple of those Fridays a little later than that. Will you save us some fish?
We'll bring some samples.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, maybe
I like samples.
maybe
I was looking forward to the night.
I told him.
Yeah,
I told
they
him
were
we were doing
supposed
a
to have
dry
a-
run.
Try run tonight, but
We did a dry run with no fish.
uh,
So
Very dry.
so
very dry.
if Dallas was to catch some fish between now and then, like some crappie, you all could fry that up for us.
Absolutely.
There you go, Dallas. There's your homework if you take it. Let's get some crappie in here. All right. Well, James, Jeff, we appreciate you coming. And Friday nights in Lent, everybody's invited out to Cardome. Watch the bulletin and Facebook and
Parish email.
And the email.
Yep. Watch for signage around town.
And if you have any questions about it, ask a brother Knight. And if you can't get a hold of a brother Knight, ask one of us. We'll be more than happy to help you. So as we make this slight transition here, we're going to go to the saint of the day. But James, Jeff, thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Saint of the day. You ready, Steve? All right, here we go.
This is Franciscan Media's Saint of the Day for January 29th. Today we celebrate Servant of God, Brother Juniper. Not much is known about Juniper before he joined the Franciscans in the year 1210. A contemporary of St. Francis known for his simplicity, he was likewise known for his holiness. And then there was his exasperating generosity. Once he was caring for a sick man who told Juniper he was craving to eat pig's feet. So the helpful friar went to a nearby field, captured a pig, cut off one of his feet, prepared the meal, and served it to the sick man. The owner of the pig was furious and immediately went to Juniper's superior. When Juniper saw his mistake, he apologized profusely. He also ended up talking the owner of the pig into donating the rest of the pig to the friars. We can laugh at such a story and dismiss Juniper as nothing more than a character. But to St. Francis himself and to his followers, Juniper was a man who knew the truth about God, himself, and others. Juniper had one desire, St. Francis said, to follow Christ on the way of the cross. There's more about the saints along with inspiration and Catholic resources at our website, saintoftheday.org. From Franciscan Media, this has been Saint of the Day.
We back? Hey, we're back. We're back. Are you over there, Dallas?
I'm over here.
Is your mic working?
My mic is working.
So that's the Knights of Columbus. What do you think about that? You've been on our list
For quite a while.
2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6.
Yeah, that's probably the 20th time that, pressure has been put on me to join the Knights.
Well, here's the way I look at it. You have to become a Knight of Columbus. I mean, it's, Skip's a Knight of Columbus.
It's not
Father Lynn's a Knight of
It's
Columbus.
not a sin not to be a part of the Knights of Columbus.
Deacon John is a Knight of Columbus.
Steve, are you part of the Knights of Columbus? No, he's shaking his head no.
But he wants to be a part. He's thinking about it over there. He's thinking he wants the life insurance because he's been falling a few times here lately.
Yeah.
So
For some, they
Diane says, "Yeah, I want to get some extra life insurance on him." So
yeah, people at Mass do not see the behind-the-scenes stuff going on. Well, our bishop took a tumble a few months back, and then Steve has taken 2 tumbles in the 3.
Did you know that the bishop fell, Steve? Yeah. So, yeah, we should be getting hazardous duty pay. They should
Yeah.
double our pay when we're up there.
Well, like I told Father Lynn, you could quadruple my pay, and 4 times 0 is 0.
So that's a good way to kind of talk a little bit about Christmas. For those of you that were there, it's kind of one of the things I want to talk about. You know, we're out here at Cardome. Christmas Eve Mass. Was it cold?
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
It was cold. I'm sure Steve's going to put some still pictures up of some of what was going on. And I looked at some of those pictures, Steve, and there was a picture of me. I think it was at the Great Amen. I'm holding the chalice. Father Lynn's holding the Jesus, and I've got my gloves on. I've got my hat on. And I've got my mask up over my face, and you can see my glasses sticking out. It was cold, but it was nice. It was a good service.
Yes.
Not that I would not have rather been in a church, because I would have, right? But for what we've got going on, it was nice. And
One of these times we're going to get a 0 degree, you know.
So it's been cold the last few times.
I know, and then when we hand out communion, man, your hands are just you can't hardly pick up the communion.
Yeah. Just a reminder to folks, we cannot wear gloves when we give out communion, and you are not supposed to be wearing gloves either. I do have some people that come through my line
Yes, I do too.
that have their gloves on. You know, we're not supposed to give you communion when you have gloves on, so please try to remember to take your gloves off if you can. We're obviously not going to refuse communion to anybody, but help us kind of follow the rules if possible. So it's cold. It's been cold. It snowed on us last week, right? Last couple of weeks we've kind of had a little snow. This week I think we're going to have rain. We're looking forward to spring, and spring is always kind of the culmination of Lent, right? Easter. So we're going to be out here at Cardome for Lent. We don't know what the schedule is yet.
No, I texted Father Lynn a while ago, and he hasn't come up with a where and a time.
But we are going to have an Ash Wednesday service. We just don't know what time.
Where and a time.
And the Office of Worship, under the guidance of the USCCB and our bishop, have made a decision about how that's going to happen, how ashes are going to be distributed. Do you want to talk about that? Or
Well, and we are not allowed to make the cross. Well, I wish I would have kept that. Do you have the
Actually, I think I do have it. Keep going. Yeah, so we're not allowed to touch your forehead, which may sound crazy to people.
Yeah, so I think if I remember reading it, the phrase we say when we put, there's 2 different phrases you can say, like repent and
believe in the gospel, or remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return.
I think that's going to be said as a whole one time,
Yeah, so the priest or the...
Are you looking at it now?
I am.
Okay.
Or the celebrant, whether that's a deacon. But again, we don't know what the time is or how that will be transpired just yet. But let's assume it's going to be Father Lynn. He will say the formula as appears in the Roman Missal, one of those 2 forms, and then the priest will then wash his hands, put on a face mask, and distribute the ashes to those who come to him, or if appropriate, he goes to them if they're standing in certain places. The priest or the distributor takes the ashes and sprinkles them on the head of each one without saying anything. So it's basically a dry sprinkling rite on the top of your head.
So we won't be adding water to the ashes this year, the way it sounds.
Which is good, because if it was out here at Cardome, it would probably freeze. So there's not going to be, you're not going to have this sign that I think a lot of people love walking around through the course of the day. Not a better testimony to our faith, I think, than Ash Wednesday, walking around with the ashen cross on your forehead and people saying,
What's that?
"What is that?"
You got a little dirt on your forehead.
Exactly.
Now, this isn't in the protocol or anything, but I could see myself, reaching up and touching the ashes and making the cross on my forehead myself,
yeah. It's
because I love to see the crosses on the forehead.
it is. I think to me it's kind of the culmination of our faith. It's a way for us to live to take our faith out into the workplace, to take our faith out into the public. It's I won't say it's impossible to do. There's no other symbol that we have that does that, right? We receive communion, but people can't see that. They should be able to see it the way we act, the way we treat others, all those things. But this Ash Wednesday service, one of the most attendance-wise, the largest service outside of Christmas and Easter. So I think last year
I might even say more.
Yeah.
I remember a service at St. John's many years ago. I showed up. It was way before ordination and everything. Church was packed, standing room only. Vestibule was packed. Stairs were packed. There was probably 50 to 60 on the sidewalk out front.
And then we moved it, right? Then
Yeah.
we ended up doing it at John Hill Chapel. And we still
Yeah.
had several services at St. John Church, too,
yeah.
as well. So, I think, hopefully the weather will be decent on Ash Wednesday, and we could have a massive crowd out. I'm assuming we're going to do it here at Cardone. We'll have a massive crowd outside in the front of Cardone to demonstrate our faith, even though we won't be walking away with a ashen cross on our foreheads. So, COVID. Thank God for COVID, as Father Lynn would say. A lot of good things come out of it.
A lot of bad too.
Yeah, he keeps trying to look at the positive side of it, and I appreciate that. I think that's true. In that same vein, another big part of the Lenten journey is RCIA, and I don't know if you saw that email today from the Office of.
I got it, but I haven't read it yet.
They haven't decided on all the scrutinies and all that stuff, but all that stuff will be changed like it was last year. So we've gone a full year, right? We're getting really close to being a year
of this.
Yeah, I can't remember when our first show was last year.
Yeah.
You were in your car. You remember that? You were in your old truck.
Old
Actually,
truck.
you were in your old truck. I was at my desk in my office, and we said, "Hey, let's go on Facebook Live and see what happens."
Yeah.
So
it's going to take some getting used to when we get back to normal, maybe knowing and we have servers again and everything, because right now we're doing everything, getting
Right.
back to knowing what to do and when to do it. It's going to feel really odd.
it'll feel really odd, but it'll feel really good too, right? I mean, I think we're all looking forward to that. I think we're all looking forward to a return to normalcy. A lot of questions that I've gotten lately, and because a lot of my news sources are from the church and stuff, I sometimes am surprised when people ask these questions. But the vaccine, is the vaccine approved by the church? Can we get the vaccine? A lot of conversation about that. What's the answer?
Well, with the three most popular, two of them you can, one of them you can't.
Do you know which one you can't? The AstraZeneca. You look that up. The Moderna. What's the name of those, Steve? Do you know what the name of those vaccines are? The two most popular ones, the ones that everybody's using right now, are AOK. USCCB says it's okay. And if you're one of those people that says, I don't trust what the USCCB says, then you're in the wrong church. You and I had this conversation the other day. Remember this? I get so frustrated. I know people don't agree with what the Pope says all the time. I know that people don't agree with what the bishop says or even their pastor says. But that hierarchy is what makes the Catholic Church the Catholic Church. Without it, we're not the Catholic Church, right?
Right.
That's what gives us a difference than all the other faiths. And I know you can get frustrated with not agreeing 100% with what somebody says, whether that's a priest, a bishop, or a pope. But when we talk about matters of faith, you have to believe.
Yeah, but it's not, well, the way you worded it, the Conference of Catholic Bishops They could be wrong. It's
They
not
could.
an infallible
Absolutely.
declaration. Okay. But you are covered. The authority of the church is spoken. And if you're trying to decide what to do and the authority of the church has spoken, then there's no sin if you decide
Right.
to get the vaccine. Don't worry about it.
Right.
You know, you're covered, so to speak. Now, you may still not decide to get the vaccine. If that's what you choose, that's what you choose. But there's no sin if the authority of the church has said so.
Right. Thanks for clarifying that, because that's what I meant.
Yeah.
You know, do I think that everything that a priest, a bishop, or a pope says is infallible? Absolutely not. Right. The pope, in the history of the pope, has only spoke from the chair twice. So, you know, he does speak infallibly in other ways, and that's typically through the magisterium. And we can have a whole show on that. That'd be fun. But
Every time he declares someone a saint, he spoke infallibly, that they are in heaven infallibly.
so you know, I know we get frustrated. We live in a very political world. It's one of the things I had on the list to talk about. You know, we live in a world where if person A believes something and they're a different political party, then I'm not going to believe it. And we've got to stop that. And I think we stopped that in our faith. It did happen.
Good luck with that.
Well, it happened this week. You know, there was one thing that happened this week, and we call this current events. There's one thing that happened this week that united the left and the right. Do you know what that was?
Something happened that united the left. No.
Have you ever heard of Robin Hood?
Heard of Robin Hood.
Have you ever heard of GameStop?
GameStop.
So the stock story, right? So
Well, the stock soared, but
right, the stock soared because a group of retail investors drove the stock up to try to penalize the people that shorted the stock. The bottom line is the people that shorted the stock lost a lot of money. Billions.
I don't understand all that. I'm sorry.
Well, it is a little bit more complicated than just buying and selling stocks. But needless to say, these big investment banks lost a lot of money, specifically a couple of them. And Robinhood, which there's no coincidences in life, right? Robinhood put the name of their app as Robinhood for a reason. What is Robinhood famous
Take
for?
from the rich and give to the poor.
So, you know, that's kind of their premise, was to open up investing at no price. So if you wanted to trade stocks as an amateur retail investor, you could do it at no cost. You can make trades with zero fees. And, you know, what they basically did as part of this whole controversy, they actually shut off the ability to buy GameStop. Which, let's face it, GameStop is one of those companies, kind of another one. They were doing it with multiple companies. They were doing it with GameStop. They were doing it with AMC, which owns a bunch of movie theaters. Both of those stocks crashing, right? The business models are been killed by, you know, technology or COVID. The movie theaters has been killed by COVID. GameStop's model has been destroyed by the ability to download games, right? You don't have to go buy a game in a store anymore. You can just download it and play. So, you know, it's
So what they did, was it illegal?
I think we're going to find that out. That's what united the left and the right? They stopped the ability to buy the stock. And there's some reasons why, you know, the company's come out and said why they've done that, but in the interim, AOC, who is about as far left as you can get, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Ted Cruz, who is about as far right as you can get, they agreed on something. So
That it shouldn't have happened.
that they shouldn't have. They should not have stopped
Because
trading.
when I first heard GameStop soared to like I don't know what it did, $300 some a
It
share,
was a lot,
you know,
yeah.
and was it like 19 or a week ago or whatever it was? I forget what it was, but I remember thinking I've been in GameStop like 4 times with my kids when they were a little younger. We were the only ones in there. How in the heck could that be worth anything in GameStop? You know.
Well, you know, it's a business, right? And, you know, free market is supposed to dictate what the company's value is. And either people are coming in and spending money in the stores or they're not. And what happened in this case is the internet, through a website app called Reddit, and some amateur investors took control and drove the price up, which is, interesting. I'm sure there'll be a lot of books written about it, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lawsuits about it. So it'll be interesting to see how it all kind of plays out. I didn't follow it today. Might have been some more changes today, but didn't follow it today. But
well, the stock market dropped today, so 600 something points again.
But when you find issues that unite the left and the right, those are things we need to focus on. We have to find more ways to do that. We have to find more ways to do that inside our church. If you've been following the Catholic news sphere these last week from the election, even inside the USCCB, inside the Catholic Church, there is this. I'll call it a fight. I don't know I don't know if there's a better word than that.
Controversy, fight, disagreement.
After President Biden was inaugurated, the USCCB put out a pretty, I won't say harsh, but a pretty heavy press release, on his position on abortion. And
I liked it.
I mean, it was truth. But some other bishops took issue with it and thought that it was a little fast.
Should have went about it a different way, or whatever they want to say.
I didn't hear anybody say that they didn't agree with what the words that were written. There wasn't any of that. It was simply a fact of, hey, this guy just got inaugurated. Maybe we should have waited till the next day, or something along those lines. Or maybe you should give the guy a little bit of a chance to give somebody a chance to establish what they're going to do, although we all think we know what he's going to do
from day one.
And he's done that, right? And I think that's one of the hard parts for Catholics today is you have a Catholic in the White House now, and right or wrong, there are a lot of Catholics that abortion is a single focus issue for them. That's how they vote. There's a lot of people that disagree with it. There's a lot of Catholics that disagree with it. There's a lot of Catholic bishops that disagree with that, and so you've got this back and forth inside the church, and just like we have it inside our country, inside our families, inside our states, communities, all that, and there's no end in sight, is there?
No, there isn't.
So when you got 50% of the people that like something and 50% of the people that hate something, my philosophy is that it must not be that bad, right? If you got 50% of the people that like it, 50% of the people that don't like it, okay, so you move the needle just a little bit one way or the other, might make them happy. But when you got an issue that 60 or 70% of the people don't like it, it's going to change. And I firmly believe that. And, the country that we live in has a lot of problems, has a lot of issues. But there's still a lot of good that goes on here. There's still a lot of good that goes on in our church. And we have to focus on that. Look for the people that do good, look for the light, work towards that, and try to find common ground where you can agree with people and quit focusing on the disagreements. Not going to convince anybody on Facebook that you're right. You want me to prove it to you?
No, I've seen that myself, and I never comment on anything. I've stopped watching the news. I'm so tired of it, and not just the political stuff, which is a big part, but the COVID stuff too. It's all wearing on people, so I just stopped. I stopped watching.
Well, and I think
stopped watching the news. I ain't watched the news in a long. I'll turn it over when I know the weather's coming on to see what's going to happen Sunday morning. See how I need to dress.
The funny thing is that we do that, but it's not going to change anything for us, right? We're still going to be out there, and we're still going to be code, and we don't agree with it, right? We'd rather be in a daggone church.
Yeah. So Father Lynn's number is 812-5. No, I just joking.
859-123-45678. That's 859.
But depending on the weather, is mainly to determine whether Steve's cameras are way on the outside or underneath the awning.
They're covered in a plastic bag.
The music don't have to worry about it. They're dry and warm.
That was the best. That was the best decision we made right at the beginning, was getting the music people inside. Here lately, I kind of like our setup. You know, if Steve had a few more camera operators, he could stay nice and comfortably warm inside, and we could bag up a couple of cameras if we had good camera operators out there to zoom and tilt, pan, and all that stuff. So, if you're a good camera operator, come see Steve. He'll love to talk to you. So,
I mean, depending on how much longer we're going to be on the French steps, might want to invest in a little bit better awning. I mean, it's doing adequate, but if we could extend it on each side and out somehow.
Today was the March for Life.
Virtual.
And there was this Tim Tebow. Have you heard this story?
No. I seen a Tim Tebow headline, but I didn't get to read it.
Great story. I wish we had the actual clip of him that we could play, but I'll summarize it here. He told the story of a missionary in the Philippines who asked his wife to have a fifth child, and they were a missionary, obviously, so God and faith was a big part of their lives, and he said God putting in both of their hearts to pursue another baby. He said the family started to pray for another baby to come into their lives. The woman then got pregnant, and it was not an easy pregnancy. He said it was first believed that the baby was a tumor, and then it was realized the woman was pregnant. And so, the woman's going, and they're telling her, you need to have an abortion. You need to get rid of him. But the woman said she's going to put her trust in God. She was a missionary. Obviously, her faith was important, as I said. And she said she's going to put her trust in God in the face of potential peril and possibly even death, they said. So, tough pregnancy, many setbacks, heartaches, but the whole time she continued to focus and trust in God. Then it came time to give birth, and a doctor who had been doing it for over 35 years, this was his specialty, helping women give birth, and he helped deliver the baby. And in over 35 years of doing it, he looked at her and he said, out of all my years, this is the greatest miracle I have ever seen, because I have no idea how your baby survived. The placenta is not attached. There are so many different issues, and I don't know how he had the nourishment and the food to be able to survive. This is a miracle baby. He took the baby in his hands, and he said, here is your baby, Mrs. Tebow. And that day, Tim got to meet his mom. So really
A future Heisman Trophy winner.
Future Heisman Trophy. And a guy that lives his faith.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
And he talked about it in this interview that he's obviously had success, whether that's on the field or whether it's in the broadcast booth
And the first kneeler at football games.
He was the first.
But let's don't talk. I don't want to. That's as far as we're going to go with that.
It wasn't allowed, right? But he says none of that's important to him. That his faith is the most important thing. All that stuff, he says his trophies will rust away to nothing. But if he can bring one person to God, then he will have accomplished something that will last beyond his lifetime. So, a great message for the March for Life, a great message about faith, and a great testament from a guy who's famous, right? Who's in front of the cameras. Just a good guy. I didn't like him when he was playing for Florida. Couldn't stand him. Daggone Florida Gators.
He was pretty good.
Hey, that's all I got tonight. You got any other stuff? How about an ice?
I don't have an ice fishing event. My truck is still being repaired from hitting the deer. It's been, it seems like has it been 2 or 3 weeks?
Been a long time.
It's still in the shop. They've ordered the parts. Got the wrong one in yesterday. Got a call today.
You get a discount now?
Should be ready.
Because they didn't meet the deadline.
Well, I've got $100 deductible, so
you're not complaining.
I don't care what it is.
Did you harvest the deer?
No.
If you would have found the deer, would you have harvested it?
Probably not.
Some people do that, don't they?
Yeah, I've heard. You got to. I think you got to get permission from either the game or the police when they show up or something.
Interesting.
Because you're on somebody else's property and everything when you're doing all that.
I hadn't thought about that. So, well, we're back at it. It's good to be back at it. Clean show over there. Maybe missed a couple buttons. No, clean show. Steve gave me the thumbs up. Hey, if we had technical issues, sorry. That's what happens. We're knocking the rust off. We went back to try everything we did the old way, and there was one difference today. We tried a new song. Hope you liked it. If you don't, put it in the comments. Any comments, questions, or anything there, Dallas?
Never had one question or comment that.
We all make it easy. Schedule-wise, Friday, February 12th, that's when we'll be back. We've got a lot of guests and topics in the works. As always, if you have ideas or thoughts about who we should be talking to, what a topic we should be discussing, whether it's marriage in the church, annulments. I mean, we could ask Dallas to talk about annulments. He could talk about it for an hour. I don't know if anybody would want to listen to that. That's crickets right there. But, hey, we could do it.
Annulments, weddings, radical stanations, Pauline privileges. We've mentioned a couple of that time before.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of things that are going on in our parish and our church. I think, over the next few weeks, I think there's a lot of good things that are happening. We've adjusted to the pandemic. We're online with our services. Most of the meetings that are taking place are online. So a lot of things that are going on. So if you got ideas, topics, let us know. Heck, if you just want to talk about something in the Bible, we'll talk about that too. As always, do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe button. And if you're listening on the podcast, this is season 2, episode 1. Give us a rating. We like 5 stars, but if you don't like what we're doing, give us 1. Not going to break my heart, but at least I'll get some feedback, right?
Absolutely.
And as always, we ask you to donate if you can at ssfj.org, ssfj.org. If that link, there's been some issues with that link lately. If that does not take you to the donation page, you can go to St. Francis and John online, and there is a donate button on the main website.
And we need money for a new boiler, too.
That's true. Boiler in Building 2 here at Cardone went out.
$48,000.
48 large. 48
That's a
large.
lot of money to stay warm.
It is. It's needed. That's why we've had to move some events around. CCD's been moved around. So, hey, if you want to donate to the boiler, you can do that online through that giving portal. Just in the memo line, just tag boiler. Or you can donate Sunday if you come to Mass out here at Cardone. Write a check in the memo item, put boiler, and then drop it in the basket. Larry Oser, Steve Stewart, Scott Carter, whoever's manning the collection basket post, just drop it in there. But support our ministries. We've been fortunate here from a school and a parish perspective that we've been managing. We're now a year into this, and we need your support. We need your continued support. And if you've been alienated some way, you don't like something that's happened in this past year, we don't either. There's a lot of things that have happened that we don't like, but we still are part of this Catholic Church, and we're still.
I'm not going anywhere.
We still make mistakes. We still screw up stuff. That's why we need your help. So help us out. ssfj.org. Tell your friends about us. We're back. Dallas, can you give us a blessing?
Sure can. May Almighty God bless everyone out there. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. And until February, what did I say? February 12th. I used to say until next week, but I'm not saying that. Until next time, I'm Deacon Tim.
I'm Deacon Dallas.
Good night, everybody.